Welcome to Isn't It Obvious, where things are obvious. That's going to be the intro.
That's going to be the intro forever now.
Right.
Also, really look into Strixhaven. I think Phil already appreciates some of that art. Sera, I think you will as well. And the mechanics are very fun and thematic for a school-based card game.
Okay, I just gotta chime in here. It really looks like a really good version of Harry Potter done right as far as Magic the Gathering and the mechanics.
Are you telling me that
Harry Potter games are not done right.
No.
Oh, well, that's...
Harry Potter games are not done right. And whatever that MMO is going to be weird.
I mean, the only
so
game
weird.
I think was done okay is like the Lego Harry Potter, but other than that...
That was great.
Yeah.
I loved Lego
All
Harry
Lego
Potter.
games are done well because none of it is serious. It's just
Right.
the characters, and then it's like, but it's Legos, so you can break anything.
Or
That's
it's
fun.
I mean, aside from the exception of the rule is Lego Harry Potter, but like any other Harry Potter game is fucking trash.
Yeah, even the mobile one was kind of disappointing.
Oh, that Quidditch game was so bad.
Ugh.
It was almost as
I'm trying
bad as Superman 64.
Mm.
Because that was how
no.
it dealt with the 3 vertices. It was bad.
I think, to be honest, like franchise games are just not good. I don't think there's a... Anyway, sorry, Sarah.
Spider-Man
you're-
2 is one of the best games on PlayStation 2.
Yep. All right.
Different topic.
Oh my god, I'm gonna murder you. Welcome to Isn't It Obvious? I'm your host, Sarah. It's Phil and
That's last
Micah,
Phil.
as usual.
I'm okay with this.
Yep.
So am I. I'm fine.
Be happy with this. And
Well,
enjoy
yeah, I make
your,
the most
your
mistakes, that's
statuses.
fine.
Anyway.
Stat eye?
Nah, it's always flat. I have a really lazy pink.
All right, topic for the day. Topic for the day. Isn't it obvious that hot breakfasts are
Absolutely.
superior to cold
Disagree.
breakfasts?
Hot.
Caveat. I don't mean you should fucking microwave your fucking Lucky Charms. Don't do that. That's disgusting. I'm just saying, in general, warm or hot breakfasts are better.
I completely agree.
No,
They're just more
absolutely not.
satisfying.
Cold breakfast give you an accurate preparation for the day. Because your day is going to be shit because you have to
Ready?
force in a breakfast. And the fact that it's just shit Lucky Charms in some 1% milk because you're watching your fat and you can't stand skim.
So Lucky Charms is an okay cereal. Like, I hate cereal. I am very anti-cereal. In fact, I would take pretty much any, like, I will take any other food before cereal for breakfast, usually. Except for maybe oatmeal. Oatmeal is sometimes okay, but that's only because it's usually hot.
Do you want a little mind break?
Cold oatmeal. That's
I
disgusting.
let my eggs chill before I eat them.
Cool.
In the burrito, I let them cool down so it's nice
Oh, I love it.
lukewarm all the way through.
Hope you like that rubber feeling.
I
With
mean,
no flavor.
I'm Minnesotan. I put pepper on it. No,
And salt,
no, there's
sure.
plenty of salt. Yeah, I use bacon as the grease,
Sorry.
so
Oh, it's
I
probably
do that
plenty
too.
of salt in
It's
the butter.
delicious.
yeah, cut up
bacon.
2
I
strips
do
of bacon,
that.
fry that, add the
Delicious.
eggs right in, boom, you're done.
Gotta repurpose that
Yeah.
excess grease. It's,
You don't just have to pour that
most
down the
delicious
drain.
grease
You can
you'll have
ingest that. It's
all
just
day.
fine.
Okay, first,
Oh man, you know what the best is? You get some Polish sausage and some cabbage and some sweet potatoes and onions.
Okay,
Yes.
one of those
Throw
things is
that
good.
in your oven on 400 for 13 minutes because my oven is insane.
You need
It's a
to
portal to
negotiate
hell,
with
what
that
can I
demon. All right, and
Uh,
he might be offended by the cabbage, or they. I guess I don't.
No,
look,
it's
I
perfectly
just want to
cooked
add
every
just
time.
one
and
thing
it's
is that I
delicious
like to
every
use
time.
the air fryer to do the thick cut bacon, and it's super convenient because
Yes.
I used to.
I can't associate with either of you because I don't eat breakfast, so I have no opinion whether hot or cold
What?
breakfast is good. My breakfast is coffee.
What? I mean, I've had coffee for breakfast a lot. That does happen, but coffee's warm, so
You can
But
add
still-
ice and
still
it's
winning
just
here.
fine, or let it chill and it's just fine.
But warm coffee is superior. No, warm coffee is
Iced
superior.
coffee in
In fact,
certain
no.
times
Hot
is
coffee.
better than hot or
coffee
warm
is
coffee.
no hot coffee.
Yeah, cold coffee can be great.
No,
I've done cold
disagree.
presses before.
No,
cold
hot
presses
coffee.
are great.
Unless it's
No, fuck that.
fucking
I've done
90
cold presses in
degrees
winter.
out, then yeah, I guess.
Oof, man.
Yeah. No,
Whoa.
I have a French press. I do my
No.
own cold press.
No, hot coffee.
Oh,
Just let it
man.
is
seep
superior.
overnight, like 8 hours. Then you slam that down,
Yeah.
and you got the caffeine.
Nope. Hot
Disagree.
bacon.
Cold
better
bacon
than
on the
cold
fridge,
bacon.
amazing.
Still
Mm.
good. No, it's still good,
will
but
fry
I
my
will
bacon on
always
Sunday and just
prefer
eat it
hot
throughout the week.
bacon over
Wait,
cold
Sarah, when you have like a BLT, do you have hot bacon or do you just use the bacon Like, wow.
I use hot bacon. Well, I make bacon as I need it. I don't usually like make up a whole. I'm just one person here. I can't
not
eat a whole
ingrained in your,
freaking bag of bacon. So like I
essence
just
to
take
cook
out.
in mass.
Yeah.
I take out like 3 or 4 slices max at a time, and then I throw the rest of it into the
Oh, I do
freezer
3 or
until
4
I need to
packages.
thaw it again for the next.
If I
do it
eat
like-
bacon and
I-
I cook bacon, it's a lot of bacon.
Yeah, same.
I can't. I mean, I
I
just don't
oven and pan
eat
fry
that
on 2
much at
pans.
once. And if I'm making a BLT, no, I prefer a slightly warmed bacon over cold bacon. Like I put a little warmed bacon on mayo and lettuce and tomato on bread. And sometimes I'll even toast my bread because I
But
prefer
that's not
warm
breakfast. You're not
bread
having BLT for
over
breakfast.
this
Well,
disgusting
BLT is lunch.
soggy.
I was just
soggy
asking about
white
the
bread.
BLT because I make a lot of bacon, and then whatever I don't consume, I just store it for lunch, and then I eat bacon again for my BLT. Like, so I would just make like a lot of bacon in the
That's true.
breakfast time. Everyone eats the bacon. Whatever bacon can't be consumed is just going to be the next wonderful bacon meal. It's cold.
Yeah, usually I don't have too many sandwiches. Like sometimes I'll have like a grilled sandwich, but I don't usually eat a lot of cold sandwiches. If I have extra bacon like left over, like it goes to that like cabbage thing I was talking about, or like I'll throw it into a pasta and it's still hot. So
I always imagine
Yeah.
the breakfast of champions, and again, I don't have any need for like
Please.
tobacco products, but I always imagine that like a black coffee and a cigarette, like in the morning, like wow, that can't get any more stark than that. Like, what are you having today, Fred? It's like, oh, I'm having a cigarette and a black coffee for breakfast.
Gonna have some
Yeah,
caffeine
I'm
on
like,
the side of
wow.
cancer.
Nicotine
please.
itself is a appetite suppressant.
Stimulant.
Like if you smoke a cigarette, you don't feel hungry.
Well,
Mm.
caffeine is too.
And same thing with just coffee. Like coffee itself can be slightly filling.
For me, I think it's like the not the enthusiasm, but like the intent behind it. I think my family knows when I cook for them that if I'm just really being lazy, that they're gonna have cold breakfast, right? And if I am gonna do a job and I had energy, I'm gonna try my best to get them like hot pancakes and bacon and eggs and stuff like that, right? And fry it up and give it to the kiddos. And like I think that there's like this sense of like, wow, this person is producing X amount of energy to do this. Whereas they could tell if I'm being a lazy son of a bitch and I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm too tired here.
Here's a muffin. Here's a donut, which is pretty okay. Donuts are all right, but they're.
Is it a good way
I
to
would
start
still
your
prefer
day with a
bacon
little bit of heart disease or a
hash
dessert?
browns.
Pork canola toast.
Wait, so a bacon
Both?
wrapped
They're
donut?
both.
Oh god, a bacon wrapped
Both
donut.
of those.
Maple bacon.
No, I mean a donut. Would
No,
do
I mean
just
just you
about
take the
same
raw
thing.
dough and then you wrap that raw dough in bacon and then just deep. Oh my god, that's so good. And then you put the glaze on. Oh god, I think I just made a business model.
Cookie dough bacon.
Good idea. God, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hungry before
Every
this, but
donut,
now I'm extra
900
hungry.
calories. Still healthier than McDonald's.
Not true. The Egg McMuffin is only like.
Only 400.
Well, yeah, but then you get the hash
400
brown. The hash brown's like 700.
I think it's three. No, I think
Oh,
it's
God.
either three. I think it's three. No, I think it might be
Oh.
350 calories or 400. One of those two. But it's in that like could be a decent.
But
meal
again,
range,
then you get the
like,
hash
not
brown, and the hash brown fucks up that calorie.
aggressively over.
Oh
hash
god,
brown's
not
probably like
McDonald's hash
100
browns.
calories.
There's so much grease and
So-
sugar in that shit.
Grease isn't. You'd be surprised. Fat isn't as much calories. Like it is calories, but it's not.
Wait, Sarah, are you in the
That's
fat versus
amazing.
sugar war? You're pro fat? Oof.
I am pro fat.
Like good animal fat is good.
I'm
Not animal fat is bad.
I'm pro.
Trans fat.
Like obviously you don't want to like go too overboard. Like you need to balance it out. But like fat is life, man. Like sugar is fine if you just need like a quick snacky snack. But like that's what's really gonna get you in the end. If it's all about calories in, calories out, that's what's gonna kill you is the fucking sugar.
I think
Sugar's
it's
in everything. Fats are great. just don't do too much.
I
Just
did
don't
have a
do
dinner
it.
of
And
just
that's
butter.
just
You might be onto something.
lard for me. That's delicious
Mm.
salt.
That's no, sorry. Lard does beat out butter because that's just straight animal fat. Yeah.
Mm.
Kudos.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh no, suet.
Well, I
Suet
had
is the best.
stir fry and had
Beef
probably
bat.
some bunch of.
Well, the
Oh, fucking
Should get some
pemmican.
pemmican.
okay. I just want to
Just
to your comment.
dense
I remember
calories.
when I was a kid, in high school, back when dinosaurs roamed. There was a health class at like 0 hour back then, because whatever. So at 6 o'clock or 6:30, you're in this class for health, and there was the instructor or teacher, and they're like, "Hey, you young man, like, do you eat breakfast?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm too tired, so I don't eat anything in the morning." They're like, "Well, you're just, consuming your muscles. You need to eat a healthy breakfast every day, and look at this food pyramid. Like, this is how old I am." And the first layer of the food pyramid, like, we don't use the food pyramid anymore. We use the
God, you had the food pyramid. I had the food square.
Yeah.
we we use the food circle now. Like, it's a plate, right? And again, like, the reason why I bring this up is because like the pyramid or the plate or the cube or square or whatever, like all these shapes, they came from the USDA or the US Agriculture Department, not health. So like I remember as a kid, it was something like 6 to 8 servings of bread, and you have to eat every day, and you have to eat breakfast. And this is what the instructor is telling me, or teacher.
And you're like, God, that's so many.
Right, and they're
fucking
like, you need to
servings
be
of
eating
bread.
6 to 8 servings of bread a day, and you need to be eating 2 to 3 servings of meat and 2 to 3
Yes,
servings of fruit and
because you
sugar.
are just a poor
Well,
factory
it's like, why
worker
are
who
you
needs
defining
the
as
easiest amount of calories to keep
the most?
producing as much as
Mhm.
possible, regardless the health consequences.
So here's my issue with 6 to 8 servings. A serving to me is like a sit down
A
meal.
serving's a
That
bite.
should be a serving, right? Like that's what a normal person. No, a serving should be like what a normal person would eat.
Did you
in
not
one
eat
sitting,
loaves of
right?
bread? And
So-
I mean, I used to like pick 4 together and mash them together and make like a
So when
snowball out
you
of it and eat it
say
like an apple.
6 to
Mhm.
8, that's like two servings per meal, right?
First of all, Sarah,
You don't need
you didn't
no,
have like
one serving per
what we're
meal.
all talking about is to make the bread compressed,
Mhm.
like as much as you can, and like apple size, and then just eat that.
No butter, no peanut, like no nothing that adds flavor. It is just Wonder Bread mashed together without the crust,
Mhm.
and you just have a snowball full of dough with the density of a baseball.
God, did you guys? No. Did you guys ever get those
Yep.
Oh, I had
Uncrustables?
them
Like
once, and I said no. This is an
just
abomination.
The little circles with like the pressed.
Like it's in the
Mhm.
freezer,
The
but you just
pressed
let it thaw, then eat it.
sides.
I'm like,
Yes,
no.
they
If it's in the
still-
freezer, it has to be cooked somehow. This is
No.
wrong.
Oh man, we had those like I don't know, daycare or something. I don't even
Okay,
remember.
on that nostalgia
a
trip,
kid, though.
I think I know
God, they were
why I
so
hate warm
delicious.
breakfasts.
What's that?
Breakfast size?
Breakfast.
Breakfast side?
I used to
Breakfast.
microwave my eggs in the morning because my parents worked, and that was how I had breakfast.
Cool.
And I think that's what turned me off of warm breakfast.
That's
Crack 2 eggs, give it
Okay,
a stir.
well,
It's in a little cast iron
okay.
thing, and you
You
can nuke
can-
it for like a
you
minute
can
and a half. And it's fine.
microwave-
It's edible.
I mean,
It's not
you can.
good.
You can. You can nuke a. I don't remember who it was. Like no, it's
I
just
think
a
it might have been the
microwave.
editor
If
because
it
we
doesn't have a
have
button on the microwave, I don't trust time frames.
no, but we have like a Nordic ware
I mean, that's
like egg cooker thing. You just microwave it, and I used to do that for my burger. So
Yeah,
like
it
I
works
have
pretty
like the
well,
bread, which is
actually.
delicious, and then I would have,
Sounds like you were.
and
just
then I would have like
We're
the
not
little
judging
shredded
trauma here, Sarah.
like the cheese that's like shredded, and then
Wait,
you would
you had
mix it
cheese
in with
your eggs?
yeah, and you would mix it up, and then
That
you would
sounds
pour it in this kind of like
delicious. This is a
egg
cheddar
cup thing, and then it's like the size of a burger patty, and so then you would have that on top of your burger, right? I used to add milk, but it was a disaster. So now it's like the cheese and the egg stirred into this thing is really kind of like firm, but not too much. It's not rubbery, and then you put the bread on top of that, so it's bread, beef patty, the egg thingy, and then the whatever toppings, and then finally the bread on top, and it's like super delicious because it's just the right amount of like soft
So,
crunchiness.
but-
It's good.
It sounds delicious, but it also sounds
Oh,
like
it's
a
terrible
fucking
for
heart
you. Like
attack.
any food that I make is just the worst.
And here's why. I love eggs, but I can have like one, and then I'm done. Like I can have an egg, and then
Really?
that's all I can
Like
do.
as in hard boiled, or
Like-
like you cook it? You only
Yeah,
cook
if I
one
have-
egg in your pan.
A day?
How do
Yes.
you not take 3,
Yes.
mix them together, and have
all
an
of
omelet?
those.
Yeah.
So usually I don't have just an egg. I have like egg on toast or egg
that
in
still
rice.
begs the question:
So,
why
like,
not
I have
have
other
eggs on
stuff with
toast
it.
or eggs on rice? Is it
Because
that
one
60
egg is
calories
enough.
just enough?
Like one egg has it's got all these like perfect, like it's like nature's little perfect.
Do you keep the shells in and the crunchiness makes it bad,
egg-shaped.
or
No, but like there's all this good fat and good cholesterol and vitamins. There's all sorts of good stuff in there. There's just a lot. Like having more than one is just a lot for me.
I really don't get this only one. Do you get it,
I
Phil?
get full on
No,
an
I
egg.
don't understand. I think it's
Sorry.
because lizard diets are very different than human diets, so they
very
can
true,
only
very
they
true.
usually only have like one egg at
That
a
could
time.
be. That could be.
But,
I mean, you lick the one egg up
That
and
could
you
be.
send it down
Sometimes
your
though,
gullet
I
and
go
it sits
real
there for a
fancy.
bit and then it moves.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why you get full quicker as
yeah.
a lizard person.
No. So sometimes I get real fancy, and I will make an over easy egg, right? But I will do like the millennial
that's
thing
delicious.
and have like avocado toast. But it's not just avocado toast. It's avocado toast with an egg on it, but also with goat cheese and onion and blueberries. It's
Sure.
fucking good. And
Can
a little bit of
we
balsamic
address
vinegar
the point that
or balsamic
avocado
glaze over the
toast
top?
is the worst way to have toast and avocado?
You're wrong. It's delicious, and someday I'm gonna make you guys some like actual avocado toast
Well,
with
it's like
the egg and the blueberry and the.
I
goat
like
cheese and the onion.
avocado.
You're gonna be
and
wrong.
I like
you're gonna,
toast.
You're
I
gonna,
just don't think those two ingredients should be a breakfast.
You have not lived. I will make this for you guys at some point when we're
In
allowed
2024,
to be
when
together
Trump wins
again
the second
in
presidency.
The same room. When we get all vaccinated, I will make you guys this breakfast and it'll be delicious.
Based on your
and you
vaccine
guys will be
trajectory,
like,
it'll be 2024.
Now I know why they do it. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I'm working
It'll be
on it.
quicker.
My
The truth will come
Anyway,
out that COVID was actually
hot
a lie
breakfast, still better.
proposed by the American government. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be like the MK Ultra of the 20.
That's a serious problem, by the way. Like I joked with coworkers. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get back to normal, and everything will be just like it used to be with my 5G vaccine. Did not go very well. Anyway,
One of the funniest things on Twitter I've seen about this was I got my vaccine today and it was a bare arm, and then showed the needle in, and then the last reveal was this very detailed arm tattoo of Bill Gates and the Windows logo behind it. And I'm like, if that fucking happens to me, I am game.
I
Yeah.
already have my.
Microsoft has everything about me that's of any relevance.
I'm gonna go ahead and argue that it shouldn't be about hot breakfast and cold breakfast, because I think that people really should skip breakfast. Not if you're a kid and you're trying to develop, but like after a certain age, the problem with
Nope.
you
Skip
could
dinner.
well,
Or skip lunch.
I would
One
argue
of those
that
two.
skipping dinner would probably be better, but skipping breakfast is a lot easier in our fast-paced lifestyle because I like to sleep in.
Isn't digestive wise the biggest meal you should have is lunch?
Yeah.
And then you should have something small for dinner and not have breakfast, because
Correct.
then you carry the fast over from the night before into your next day, and then you're burning off the energy from yesterday. Then you have the big lunch to give yourself the energy.
I hate this idea. I really like breakfast, and like maybe it's different for you guys, but like, and it might be just like a chemical thing or I don't know, a blood thing for me. But like in the morning, if I don't have at least some calories, doesn't have to be a lot, just like creamer in my coffee or a piece of toast, like just like a 30 to 100 calories, something to get me through the first 4 hours of the day. I get like kind of lightheaded and
That
Oh wow.
anemic,
could be
I guess
diabetes.
is the best way to put it.
Yeah. No,
I could be.
Okay,
No,
I
no,
could be
no,
dead.
not
I could be
dying. It's
dying.
just your
I could be
pancreas is doing
pre-diabetic.
things that it probably shouldn't.
from all the fat. No, just
From all the bacon and avocado.
So health intervention for health.
Sorry, I'm not a
intervention for
veterinarian, but
Sera here.
I would argue that. No, I would say that, yeah.
And it's not all the time. It's honestly, it's probably just
Look,
girl stuff.
I will
I'm sorry,
segue
the
this.
defense Phil had, I'm not a veterinarian, but is amazing. Oh, you sound odd. I'm not a veterinarian, but what I think you should do is...
My thought is that, like, for those that have sugar or blood problems or other type of health issues that they know their body, yeah, absolutely don't fucking follow someone that you're listening to on a podcast. And again, fair enough.
I think we're all relatively normal humans.
But for relatively normal humans, like I don't know if we are.
Like, we don't have between the three of us, we don't have any outlying quirks health-wise. I don't think.
Yeah.
That we
I
know
prefaced
of.
with a lot of ambiguity.
I could be
I
pre-diabetic.
don't think we are, because we're all. Well,
I
I
mean-
mean, we all have relatively meh diets. Not great, not bad, but we're not suffering.
My biggest issue is that we're, as far as Americans go, like we're not at a point where starvation is a problem. It's the fact that we eat a lot of empty calories, right? And this kind of goes to my whole point about the 6 to 8 servings of bread, which is crazy because it's not based off any
Beer.
health like reports. It's based off again U.S. agriculture, whose primary focus is the economic goods and selling of
grain.
agricultural products. So it's as if they're using us as like piggy banks to be like, oh, you should be eating way more than you should.
Well, the
And-
American way is making laws that benefit
Mhm.
those that the laws affect.
That's terrible. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that it's very sobering and terrible. And yes, I just realized that that's very sad that they are going to overfeed Americans for the benefit of a very few stakeholders that like money. But
Cigarettes are healthy, so Philip Morris says.
yeah, that's actually kind of my thought about like big sugar, right? Like the idea that you should tax sugar or something. My brain is like, why are we telling people that we should be eating breakfast or eating lots of carbs? Like now you can see that the whole trend is what paleo diets and intermittent fasting. Like you can see people trying to course correct. Whether they're right or wrong, I'm not quite sure. But you can see that they're developing.
Paleo is what, canceling out manufactured carbohydrates,
Right.
right? You're
Simple.
cutting out grains and
Yeah,
meats,
it's
and
canceling out
you're sticking with
sugars.
the base. What?
Protein and any sugar you take in is usually from like a
Mm.
fruit or vegetable natural source. And even then, I don't know.
I'm-
Depends on your
Right.
whatever
I'm a
fat
little
diet
kind
you're
of-
on. But
I respect people who like have a fad diet because at least it's better than no philosophy. But
Mhm.
like it's better than having nothing at all and being on autopilot. And
I disagree.
I also disagree. I think you should just kind of do what your bodies do, but also within moderation. Listen to your body,
But there
but
isn't
also
a lot of like I slightly refute the listen to your body thing because we don't know how to interpret what our
'cause
body
your body will
needs.
lie to you. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
your body
if
will
you're on
tell
the
you it's
paleo
still
diet
hungry when
and
it's
you
really
have
not,
a
'cause it
double
takes a
bacon
minute.
cheeseburger, but you remove the bread and you still fall into a food coma afterward, like the bread wasn't the issue with you taking in too many calories and then collapsing at 7:30 on Tuesday.
also follow your body is kind of it's
Sure
a
is.
like they're having more
Yeah, no, that can be a double-edged sword there because
It's
you're
a-
right. You can,
Right.
Right.
Your body will lie to you sometimes. It'll tell you, "I want more sugar. I want more
Mhm.
fat because this is good.
I mean,
Tastes good."
but
and you're like, "But you don't need
beer
that." So, like I
has
said,
no
within
health
moderation.
impact at all because we're in a state where we can have purified water and the river won't kill us with its bacteria. So we don't need beer because it's boiled and doesn't have those microbes. Yet, I'm drinking a beer.
But it's delicious.
It's for
delicious
historical.
And it makes
full
me
of
not
good
feel
calories.
sad for a
And by
bit,
good
and
calories,
that's
I
a
mean
mental
not
thing.
great.
And that's me listening to my body because I'm really sad, but beer makes me not feel as sad. But that is contributing to a different set of problems.
So, like I said, within
Who cares about moderation? This is
it's
America.
okay,
America doesn't
like
care about
most
moderation.
things.
Right. I want to get to the
Success.
like the funny story of some of the old baseball fields, right? Stadiums, and they had this. I think the one in New York. They showed like the bucket seats getting bigger and bigger and bigger over the decades because their fans are getting bigger and bigger. And they had something like in 1901 or like the world's like largest man. It's like, oh, look how grotesque he is at some type of circus, and now he's a normal guy. It's like nothing wrong with him. He's just a big muscular dude, and now or maybe with a big belly, but now it's like you see that at Walmart. There's no issue. So my concern is that we have a lot of calories we take in. If you say listen to your body, like you mentioned, I agree with moderation, but my body sucks. It's always hungry for.
Mine probably does too if it's telling me if I'm
The issue
pre-diabetic
as well
or
as like
something.
apparently in gut biome science, right? Where people would take antibiotics to be able to rid of their health issue that they have. And but now your gut flora is nuked, and it actually kind of screws with the whole mechanic system, right?
Being able to digest certain things.
The other issue too is that they've discovered is if you eat a lot of bad food, like Wendy's Baconators, there's a theory out there that the more food you eat, the more your gut biome is triggering sensors inside your body to have more of that. So like, who's really in control, right? That's kind of like also if you eat better foods or healthier foods, the foods that make you have these cravings. Well, these cravings are not really coming from your brain. There are studies that suggest that it's coming from the biomes in your gut that don't really belong to you. They're just free riding, bacteria that,
They're
So
like,
you're saying
we want more
everyone
of that.
should be taking
Eat more of that.
bacterial biome pills from other people's biome.
No, there's a
to
serious
balance out.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
serious
yeah,
studies
that's
where
right.
you do
Fecal
fecal
transplants? Is that what
transplants
you're
from
talking about?
healthy people, and
Yeah.
that's a real thing. I mean,
So what the fuck are
take
probiotics? I thought
Yep.
that's what probiotics were supposed to do.
well, not quite, because you still have all of the
No.
bad stuff in you, right? Like you still not bad, but
It's just making competition. Like it's supposed to help balance it out.
having a healthy gut biome, fecal transplant aside, it's really hard to. Anytime you say not to say, anytime we make a comment to people like, "Oh, well, just do it in moderation," I think it taxes willpower, and that sucks because I don't have that much
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Yeah,
Well, it's
a lot of
also
people
not
don't have a lot
addressing
of
the
that,
issue. You're
turns
addressing
out.
a symptom. Like, have more restraint because you eat too much fast food. That's not addressing the problem that the fast food is the easiest way to get food when they're working at a job that they have to work at, and that's what's available to them.
Yeah. Plus, I
Whether
love
or
fast
not
food.
they can go to a different place, if you spend $100 at a grocery store for food that's going to last you a week, if you're used to going to fast food, you're not going to stop going to that fast food because you spent $80 at a grocery store for better food.
Right. I also just love fast food. Like, I don't mind having groceries and stuff, but like, if it was just the option between like making myself a meal and eating delicious Baconators, I'm gonna go Baconators every time. I'm sorry, like I just love it
It's just
so
too much
much,
protein. It's so
and
much protein.
it's so
It
good.
really is.
It's not. You think of a
No,
son of
I
bacon.
I
I
hate my
had
body.
It's
the
delicious.
original
Tiny.
Wendy's Baconator, which was
Yep.
3 patties, 12 bacons,
Oh
4
my
strips
God.
of cheese.
That's
Oh my
too
God.
much.
Yeah. And
That's
I
too
ate
much.
that in the back of a car.
That's too
That's
much.
too much.
Halfway through, I'm just like,
Yeah, that's too much.
I
was
get
12.
through the son of Baconator, and I feel bad. It's just a little too
okay,
much.
so
Even just when it comes to, and this just might be my age, but at a restaurant in the before times, when it was like, did you want bacon on that? There was a conscious part of my brain that's like, yes, get bacon.
Always.
But the
Always.
rational part, the little angel on my shoulder, was like, and I went, and I regretted not getting bacon, but I felt better after I ate that burger that I didn't get bacon on it.
Oh, so
Well,
good though.
you're wrong because I always
I
feel
don't
better
know.
when
Also,
I have
like
bacon on my
shitty,
burger.
just greasy. I'm really finicky about bacon because I have so much shitty bacon at places that I don't trust it.
Yeah.
But if I find a place with good bacon, oh my god, I will have what's the gout? I'll have gout so quickly from all the bacon I'll eat at a good place that has consistent bacon.
Rich man's disease.
God, fucking good bacon is so good.
I think as far as all the diets go, I think that even though some of them are very unhealthy, I would say that at least that they're on the right path. They're not just on
Atkins wasn't.
autopilot. Atkins wasn't.
No, I
South
think
Beach
I have an
diet
issue with a
wasn't.
lot of diets because it's a catch-all that is built on the charisma of whomever created it, and it just turns into a weird little cult, and I dislike that.
Yeah, that's true.
It can be. Some are based on.
I think Weight
maybe
Watchers
some research, maybe
probably the best because it's merely just you watch what you eat, and that puts the accountability on you as the participant.
So my problem with Weight Watchers is it's
All of
a
them are
little
fucking
culty,
Yeah.
right? Like all of them are, but it's also it assigns these arbitrary points, which I guess aren't that arbitrary because they do base it around certain things. But you have to, like any diet,
Right, but
you
it's
have to
your
maintain
participation in it.
Otherwise
You're
you're
not
gonna go
following
right back
a
to where you were.
line. you still have agency within
But
that
that's the problem. You
constraint.
have to.
And that's why I think Weight Watchers, in terms of a mass
But
diet,
if you want to succeed, if you want to succeed in Weight Watchers, you have to always be in it. You can't ever.
but what is in it
be on
as
your
Weight
own.
Watcher? Like, it's
And
by
that's
their
what I have an issue
point
with.
recommendation, and
they also change their point
Yeah.
recommendations every once in a while because they
But
do course
that's
corrections
not a
after
bad
they give them
thing.
data.
That's better
and
than
I think
Atkins.
that's better. But no, that is better. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it sucks because you have to consciously
pay attention to your diet.
count. Well, no,
But
you have
that
to
is
count,
paying attention to your
count.
diet, which is the important part.
Yeah, but it's like you might as well just count
And
fucking calories. I guess
That
what
is the best part, but most people don't have a bachelor's in food science, so Weight Watchers is a better
yeah,
catch-all.
and at least with
Yeah,
the
but
Weight
then you're
Watchers, the point. Yeah, and it does force you to make, in theory,
Yeah.
better choices health-wise, but not always because I've
Correct, and
seen mixed successes.
I'm just saying this in the context of the fad diets and the culty diets and the South Beach Atkins Whole30, all of that stuff. Like, of them, Weight Watchers has the most credibility because it is just, you need to, as a person ingesting food, be conscious of what you're eating. And our point system is going to give you some parameters of which you can base your diet around.
Yeah, I think the problem with, geez, like I agree with you, Sarah and Micah, but the problem with any type of diet that's being kind of culty or Weight Watchers, which is the best of them, but still kind of culty, is I think for me, I just want to get in and get out, right? So I want to get in, like, into a better shape,
Yeah.
and then I'm done with this experiment, off to the next thing.
Like, I don't want to have to sit and count my calories. I don't want to have to sit and count my points every fucking day. I just want
But-
to eat and then be done. I want to be able to control my portion size.
But it's not going to
without having
happen
to
that
think
way.
about
Like I remember I had a coworker who lost like something around like 100 pounds or something. Like, and he was kind of a braggart about it, right?
The worst people.
And he's like, "Oh, you're eating that? That's so unhealthy," kind of like that type of guy that's trying to leave. And I'm
You're
like,
mind
all
your
right,
own dang
whatever,
business,
right,
buddy.
fine, okay.
Keep her
So
moving.
we had this kind of cafeteria in this old life of mine, and he's counting his calories for eating a Snickers bar, right? And like,
I'm like
it-
240 calories. He's fucked. That fucks over his entire day.
he's like, "Oh, it has some protein from the peanut butter." And I was looking at him like,
Like a gram of protein? The fuck's he
Okay.
talking about? He's lying to himself.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's
There's
lying
probably
to
more than a
himself,
gram,
right?
but-
Like, it's just like, holy shit.
Cult.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you just have to do that now. Like, this part of your culty life is that you accepted this, and you can't just get in and get out. You actually have to, do this sort of song and dance for the remainder of your
Yeah.
goddamn life.
Because you're invested, and it's not a thing you're participating in, it's also a part of who you are.
Well, and
Yeah,
And then
until you get bored of it.
right, and then
Then
And
that's
then you
straight
go right back
Atkins
to where
and
you
wait
were.
to die like a vegetable, like Scott Atkins did.
or like
Okay, move on to the next fad.
just eating fruits, like Steve
Oh god,
Jobs.
that would be so unhealthy.
Oh yeah,
Right.
the juice cleanse or
Well, I
whatever
mean,
thing that was like
Cleanses
super, like,
themselves
I don't know, popular
have
several years
some
back.
merit in terms of you are allowing your body to purge everything that's in it because you're only taking in the minimal amount. It's not
I
healthy. You
don't-
can't sustain that as a lifestyle. You can't have that gallon of water with
No,
a
it's
squeeze of lemon and cinnamon or whatever the fuck it is. Like that you can't live on that. But if you had that for a week, you will clean out your body because your body just has to process fucking everything it
like
has.
this isn't like, again, this is not a sustainable approach like you're mentioning,
I
Micah,
don't
right?
think that's
Like
healthy.
the problem I have with these diets is that it's giving them the mentality like, yeah, you should be careful of what you're eating, right? Like that's the number one step. Whether or not you're going to be in moderation or juicing yourself to coma, that's a different story. But most people don't even have that sense of trigger to be like, should I be careful what I'm eating? Nah, baconator, right? Like this is
Because everyone is lazy and they
Because-
just want that reaction, or they want the results now.
Get rid of everyone's
Disagree.
microwave. No one's allowed to have a microwave.
Disagree.
And then they'll be
I
better.
I don't think
actually-
microwaves
better
should be used
eaters.
as much as they are.
I feel personally attacked.
But
If you get rid of microwaves, you will
For
eat
every
a
minute the
bit
microwave
healthier,
is
I
used,
bet.
it cannot be used for 10 minutes. I think put that restraint on people and just see what happens.
That's not that bad. It would have to be like for
You can
every
only use it
minute,
1 minute a
you
day.
can't use
So
it for an hour.
No. I just nuked some rice, and that
1
shit took
minute,
4
you can't
minutes.
use it
I'd
for
be
an hour.
fine not putting anything else in my microwave for the next hour.
No.
That would be fair.
You would be
You shouldn't be eating
fine
rice.
for the next 4 hours.
Well,
You should be eating rice.
yeah, but I
Rice is
also
good
add it
protein.
to like my taco meat and shit, and it really I turn a pound of meat into a week-long meal because of rice.
Okay.
It's a filler. I'm not just eating rice. It's added to make my stomach seem more full.
As a child who always ate rice with every meal, including lasagna and spaghetti, I'm just
Oh,
telling
fuck,
you.
what?
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Oh, that's
That's
so many
too
grains.
many. That's
Right.
too many
Yeah.
starches.
that's because
in
you
Is
one.
there
needed 6
potatoes on the side too, or
You needed 6 to 8 servings of grains.
yeah.
That we couldn't get that without eating
You were really
rice
building those
with.
bottom layers of the pyramid, huh?
I mean, foundation's important, Micah.
I mean, my ass would have something to say about those bottom layers, but anyway.
But yeah.
So if you guys,
Well,
just
just one last thing is that people say, "Oh, well, just exercise your way out of it," and I'm like, "Oh,
You're
you
fucking
poor,
Americans.
you poor fools!" Like,
You
there's
are
no way.
either 900,000% into exercising, or you're kind of exercising, or you're not. That's it.
you should find your happy medium. Exercise as much as you want, and then eat
I eat
accordingly.
accordingly and exercise
for
as
your
much as I
activity
want, and
level.
I feel that's bad.
I say that as
No,
if it's easy. I say that as if it's easy to just know that, but it's not.
I was reading this.
that's
I was
how
at a
it should
doctor's
be.
office like many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, just waiting. And they had these like terrible magazines, and one of them was Men's Fitness. So I was just reading that, and one of the things they talked about was for people who are training for like distance running or whatever. Maybe it wasn't even that, just running in general or jogging. They wanted to know what their caloric intake was from the runner's perspective of their mentality. So long story short, they took them to a buffet and they asked, okay, so you trained today, you ran like an hour. That's really good, right? Running an hour straight. Here's a buffet. Go ahead and pick out the food you think would compensate calories wise, right? And they overate by 2 to 3 times as much because running a mile is only like 100 freaking calories. So it's not.
It's more than that, but
It's
yeah,
not a whole lot.
It's not a whole lot.
I mean, it
It's not
depends
as
on the
much
person,
as,
but I would be surprised if it was more than 150, right? Like humans are really good at supposedly running. It depends on your physiology, right?
Yeah,
but in general, it's like
yeah.
I would peg it to 100 calories a mile. Sure.
Well, we're gonna have to put that in the show notes of how much, like a mile or something, or maybe it's
Or,
by
now, hear
time,
me
not
out,
necessarily by
we
distance.
don't have to.
Well, okay. The joke is that like you can't you
Make a compelling
go ahead
argument
For
and
listeners to do.
jog for a while, right? And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to a buffet. These researchers are assholes, by the way, but anyway. And then they say, okay, well, what are you gonna have on your plate? And they're always overeat, right? Because their body doesn't understand why you had to go through this strenuous activity. So
you're also in a buffet,
right.
So you're already
But
primed
they didn't.
to eat as
They
much
they
as you
instructed
can for cost.
the test subjects eat as much as you believed you burn in calories, right? And all of them always overeat. And it's because they're listening to their body. Their body doesn't understand why they went through a traumatic event.
Yeah, they're like, holy shit, we
Like,
just wasted all this energy.
Yeah, and you need more because whatever
again.
just chased you for an hour is going to be back. So
yeah,
Well, it's like the whole
prepare
sedentary lifestyle allocates
for lean
so much
times.
fat to your midsection because it makes you more comfortable while sitting. Like your body adapts to the situation of which you give it. If you aren't terribly physically active and you sit a lot, you're gonna get a gut, and you will get love handles, and you will get a lot of these fat deposits. Because 1, the fat has to go somewhere, but 2, it's gonna go where it makes you comfortable based on your situation.
I will say that my belt line is very sad. Like I feel like my clothes.
I will say this: my
shapes
mantis
my.
belt
I think that.
We're all rocking a dad.
I feel like man tits are
right?
totally unrepresented in today's society. They get no
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
but
seen
you
plenty
don't
of
like.
man
There's
tits all
no
the time.
attractive
They're
cleavage
everywhere.
for man
This
tits.
is America.
Yeah.
No dude is wearing a low cut
Eh,
shirt and smushing them
well,
together
I would
for like
argue.
to get some discount somewhere. That's not a thing that happens.
No.
I would argue that tits in general
Disagree.
are just not that attractive. But this is also a lizard speaking, so
There was this D&D
Just
question
with
about
that.
like, why do snake people have like like a bosom?
why do lady snakes
Yeah.
have breasts drawn on them? And
Right.
like, they
It's
don't.
like,
They're not
but
mammals.
why?
They're reptiles.
You know?
Get
So
out of there.
clearly we
Excuse
know
me,
why.
well, actually,
'Cause you want
finishing
'em.
up classes, if you look at the etymology of where the gods of that specific serpentine species was originated from, they actually interacted with a mammalian god that would.
That word you used, I don't think you know
I just
what
want to agree that
means.
like no,
Etymology.
but Micah's point is actually what the forum does say. So
Yeah,
that's actually true. So
I
anyway.
know because
But
I wrote it.
anyway,
You're a lizard lover 69.
No, what? There's no way that fucker is still. I am lizard lover for 2069XXX.
XXX no scope or XXX 360
well,
no
anyway,
scope?
guys, I do have to ask, get us
Do you
back
have a
on
track?
track here. What is your? I mean, there was a track at some point. Maybe
We're in the Northwest
might
Territory
have
at this point.
derailed
Whether there's a track or
an hour
not is
ago.
purely suggestion.
Might derail.
But to round off this food question, what is your ideal
No,
breakfast?
the question was, or sorry, the question posed was a statement, and it was hot breakfast was better than cold breakfast. And I disagree
Yes,
because a
and now I'm
breakfast of
asking
just
you,
fruit
what
is a
was-
delightful breakfast, and that is cold.
Oh, yeah. If you want like acid and like a sugar rush, and then you feel like garbage
No,
for the next 2
you have
hours.
all of that, then you go do
Sure.
shit, and then you burn that energy, and then you have a very big lunch. We covered this.
Yeah, no, too much sugar, too
I mean,
sweet,
not
too
to
sour,
point out
too
Phil here,
acidic.
but like
Nope.
a bunch of cantaloupe in the morning is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon. That's a
Blech.
fucking delightful
Blech,
breakfast.
Ugh.
awful. That sounds like the worst.
Pair that with some cold sitting there for
breakfast?
10 minutes eggs and like some bacon
Nope.
that has been
You're
chilled
wrong,
in the fridge
Micah.
overnight.
You're
Mwah.
wrong. You
French
had your
kiss.
gross. Nope. You had your gross cold.
What, would you
fruit
rather have
breakfast.
warm fruit as a
Just
breakfast? Because that seems
miserable with
fucked
your
up.
miserable self. I mean, if it's in oatmeal, I will take warm raisins or blueberries
So you want
or
warm
cranberries.
dried
Yeah, I would
fruit?
take that over. Or
Fresh
fresh.
raisins? Fresh
You can
raisins?
throw fresh
Where's fresh
strawberries or
raisins? Please
fresh
tell me what
apples.
produces fresh raisins.
Micah,
You're
you
gonna
can
have just
throw
grapes in your
fresh apples,
oatmeal?
fresh strawberries,
Just
fresh.
grapes right off the
blueberries.
vine.
No, I wouldn't do grapes. I wouldn't do
But
grapes.
raisins in oatmeal is
That would
just
be
fine.
weird. You'd only do raisins, but they're warm, right? You heat it up and they're warm. Same with strawberries.
So warm
apples,
strawberries are better than
any of
cold
those.
strawberries?
In oatmeal, absolutely.
Do you
For
not
breakfast,
want
yes.
the cold fruit to juxtapose the warm oatmeal?
I would. No, I don't. I
But you
want a
have,
hot
so
breakfast.
by your constraints, you have
I
the
will-
hot oatmeal. Would you not want the cold fruit to one give flavor, two give textural?
No, I want chopped up fucking fruits put into my oatmeal in the pan
Oh my god!
on the
what?
stove that I'm
What is
cooking
this
in. I don't have a
maniac thing you're
microwave.
talking about?
Because I don't have a microwave.
You're making jam and then you just
And
add
then
oatmeal to it?
I have nice. No, you just throw in like one cut up strawberry into your little quarter cup of oatmeal.
Prior to you cooking
half
your
cup of
oatmeal,
water,
you put
and
the
you
strawberries in, then
boil
not
it for 5 minutes.
on top after the fact.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
like
I like
mushy
I like my fruits to
strawberries
mix
because
in.
they're warm and
Yeah.
they break down.
It's good, man. It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes in the
This
pan.
is
It's delicious.
isn't it obvious? No one should eat breakfast ever. Period.
No, breakfast is like one of my favorite meals.
One of
I
the
like all the
37
meals
fictional
equally,
meals
and
we
it's
have
one of
as
my
humans.
3 favorites.
Breakfast is
It's
the
in my
best.
top 3.
Second breakfast is
It's in
pretty
my
good
top
too.
3.
Though.
I like
So,
11Z's. 11Z's is pretty good.
yeah.
I do
I can get behind
also like
11Z's.
hmm
I do like snacks. I do like snacks in the middle of the day. I like food, man. I just
Which
constantly
I
eat
think is a
small
fine
bits.
diet.
It's okay. I'm
What, you
doing
spread that
okay.
2K out
I
through a
wouldn't
day?
recommend it for everyone, but
400 calorie eating? Yeah, that's
Anyway.
probably fine.
I'd say more like 400 calorie eating.
That's
Wait, no,
16,
that's 12. That's
but-
too little. 400. Yeah.
400? Yeah, yeah.
Is it? Oh, 4 times 4. Yeah, I can math. Wow. It's early in
See,
the
what's
in the
more
morning
worrying
for
is I
me.
correct someone on math. That's very worrying.
It's not that worrying. I'm terrible.
I would say
I already fuck up enough history that
So
me
16.
being accurate
no,
in
16's
math
pretty
is
good, actually.
appalling.
I would say 400 calorie meals, 500 to 600 calorie meals.
I would say my favorite
Anyway,
breakfast
what's
is the
your-
one that my mom used to make me when I was a kid because it reminded me of not just being a kid, but the time where my mom would make me breakfast as a kid. And it's
Nostalgia
just
is a powerful feeling.
right. I mean, that's kind of a nice thought, but yeah. Anyway, thanks, Mom.
No, you have to
What?
tell us what it is. You can't just. Well,
Yeah.
you just said your mom made
no,
you
Leave it to the
breakfast,
mystery
not
of
what
the
it
listener.
was.
They can
No,
then put
I need to
whatever
know.
their mother or parental
What did she
figure
make you that was so
created for their
freaking
breakfast,
delicious?
and that gives more empathy to Phil.
It's just what my mom makes. It could be anything.
See, the fact that you're
So it
defensive
doesn't
about
matter what
that
it is,
really makes me
just
think your mom made
something-
some weird stuff for you for breakfast.
No, it's just regular breakfast, but it was just
See-
a nice feeling of having, yes,
Was it warm?
because she cared. She put effort into
All right.
it, and I was loved.
She
Thanks,
put
Mom.
effort into it.
Wow. Thanks, Mom.